What's up, YouTube? Shamu Aquatics here, bringing you guys another video. I haven't done much of an update on this tank much. Things are still somewhat the same, but I have lost a couple more fish. I don't know what's going on, but it looks like whatever it was, it is no longer an issue. But as a lot of you guys know, I had 25 of these roseline sharks or Denison barbs in here, but now I am down to 19. So since like September, I have lost 6 of them. And what I noticed is that the ones that died were all ones that I got that were already an adult size when I got them. 5 of which were big ones that I got right after I got this tank set up. They were surrenders from private individuals, and they were already big. So the previous owners both said, well, one of the previous owners said that they were a year old. The owner of the other group said that they were like a couple years old. But I kind of had, like I said in other videos, I had doubts because some of them were pretty geriatric looking. So yeah, and the ones that looked like they were pretty old were the ones that died. There are a couple in here that still look pretty old. Luckily, my largest one, who still has pretty great color and a good 6.5 inches, he's still alive. He actually looks like he's in his prime still, but others have passed on. I don't suspect disease of any kind because, like, if there was like an issue in the tank or whatever, I would have lost more than just roselines. It's pretty unlikely that a disease or something would only target one species of fish. Water quality good, everything, whatever. It was just like I was losing like one at a time, like every couple weeks or something. It was weird. But yeah, that seems to be something that happens when I buy large groups of fish that are already something's going on over there, feeding frenzy probably, that are already like full adult size. I have noticed that happen over the years. I buy a group of fish that are already adult size, and then like after a certain time period, they slowly start dying one by one. So that seems to be the same case with these roselines. Previous owner probably lied about their age, whatever. And I don't know if I mentioned this in the last update, but the reason why the striped raphael catfish's cave is gone is because I lost one of my boesemani rainbows. And I don't know how many people know this, but boesemani rainbow fish, like Bentley Pasco said it himself, they are beautiful idiots. And I've seen these fish almost get themselves stuck in places before. Well, unfortunately, one of them got itself wedged in a tight corner of the striped raphael's cave, and it didn't make it. I found it in the morning. So yeah, I have 6 boesemani rainbows in here now because one of them decided to be an idiot and get itself stuck in a place that it could not fit. So that's pretty much all I can remember losing. I think I did lose one of my panda garras. It was a smaller one. I still have the big one. But those 2 panda garras were fighting all the time. I added 3 little tiny ones in here to hopefully disperse it because they are supposed to be in groups of 5 or more. But these guys are so small that the 2 bigger ones did not acknowledge them as their own species. So the 2 larger ones kept fighting. And I could not find any decent sized ones in fish stores. These guys have put on a little bit of size, but they're still only like just under 2 inches. So yeah, I'm not buying any more panda garras until I can find some that are at least 2.5 inches or so. But yeah, these little guys fight all the time, so maybe I should add more. There's only 3 little ones and that 1 big one, so I probably should get like at least 2 more little ones, because these guys love to chase each other all over the place. Really got to do a better job at wiping down the glass. I will admit I have been a little neglectful with the tank. My priorities have changed over the last few months. So like I haven't really had much time to enjoy my tank. All I ever do is just do my water changes every couple weeks, sometimes every 3 weeks, and that's about it. I never actually get to just sit down and enjoy the tank. And that glare coming from the window fan is bugging me, so hold on a second. On another note, I have started going to SeaWorld again, and I am going to go back to posting SeaWorld videos and all that. So if you guys don't like that, well, unfortunately, there are now going to be fish videos as well as SeaWorld Shamu orca videos as well. I am called Shamu Aquatics after all. But yeah, seems like SeaWorld videos were pretty popular on here, so I am bringing those back. But I'm also going to try to do more updates on my aquarium because I am now officially monetized. And my friend is telling me that I should put more effort into this channel and actually like start posting more, so here I am. The only hard part about doing fish videos is that my aquarium is like nothing much really happens once like the whole tank is set up and established. So not much else changes. I am not the type of person that's gonna fucking pull, oops, I just cursed, but at least it wasn't within the first 2 minutes of the video, but whatever. I am not the type of person that's gonna pull out the camera and record every single time like one little fish dies or whatever. I have had a significant amount of losses in the last several months, but it's not that like I'm trying to hide anything from everybody. It's just like I just don't feel like pulling the camera out and recording. Also, another thing that also happened recently is that I decided to get my lonely bala shark a few little buddies, and all 3 of them died. This was like a couple weeks ago. But the thing about these bala sharks that I added was that they were really small, like way smaller than what I would typically see in fish stores. Like typically at my local fish stores, they usually carry bala sharks at around like 4 inches or so. This one was a little, like just a little bit smaller than this guy. I picked him out because he was a good like 4.5 inches and really chunky. He's not as chunky as he was when I first got him because I don't feed my fish very heavily. But yeah, no, bala sharks I usually get around like 3.5 inches and a lot healthier looking. The bala sharks that I got were like 1.5 inches long, and they were really small. And this seems to happen with a lot of different species of fish and I think it might be because I have hard water and smaller fish tend to be more sensitive, but certain fish don't seem to survive in my tank for some reason if they're too small. So yeah, next time I get bala sharks, they're gonna be at least 3 inches. But yeah. So I'm gonna go fish store hopping again. I'm gonna try to find a fish store that has bala sharks that are a more decent size. No more little itty bitties, because my water's hard and I guess certain fish don't like my water, especially if they're below a certain size or whatever. Like the same thing happened to me with angelfish. If I got them when they were only the size of quarters or a little bit bigger than quarters, they would never survive. But if I got angelfish that were about the size of my palm, they would survive. They would do fine. I don't keep angelfish anymore because I just don't feel like they fit in this aquarium. But yeah. Another thing too is like it's harder to get videos and pictures of my fish nowadays because they're not used to me having the camera on them. So now when I walk by the tank, they actually run away from me. They were not used to me always hanging out, lingering by the tank. But I'm going to try to get them used to that again. So like what got them to not run away from me now when I started recording was because I fed them like right before I started recording. And yeah, so I'm just rambling right now, just talking about what's been going on with the tank. Not much has changed other than some losses. And I did mention some losses that happened before my last fish video that I didn't talk about in the last fish video because my memory has not been keeping up. These Siamese algae eaters. I did lose one Siamese algae eater as well. I'm suddenly remembering these things. So admittedly, I have like not been doing my water changes as often as I should be. Maybe once every few weeks instead of every 2 weeks. I'm getting right back to every 2 weeks. And I've got to also do a better job of feeding my fish. There have been many times where I've been like not coming home right after work, so the fish weren't getting fed. Relying on my dad to feed the fish. God knows how he's feeding them. But one of the main things I argue with my dad about is the fact that these fish should be getting, when it comes to the frozen foods, I always make it a point to give them more spirulina brine shrimp and just a little bit of bloodworms. My dad, on the other hand, thinks that they need a lot of bloodworms. So I found one of my Siamese algae eaters had dropsy. And back in the day when I was a younger fish keeper, I used to feed my fish a lot of bloodworms too. And what I noticed that dropsy seemed to be a common thing in my aquarium back then, especially with these roseline sharks or Denison barbs. I used to lose roselines to dropsy a lot. But in early 2023, I started feeding a majority of spirulina brine shrimp and way less bloodworms, and I have not seen a single Denison barb or roseline shark with dropsy in my tank since. So that Siamese algae eater that I found with dropsy, that was the first case of dropsy I had seen in my tank in years. So yeah. But anyway, that's going to be all for today's video. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video after I get some close-up shots.